Okay, Larry, we are located a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building here in downtown Denver. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. First carry here for Ty Montgomery. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Rodgers now to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. Touchdown, Packers. Trevor Davis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. Fights through and now a crease. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 14th touchdown now Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU, was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really likes soccer and basketball. But football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On second down, Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be...
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? To throw is Rodgers. Off the bootleg. Flush to his right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. He goes underneath for Anderson. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Breeze. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. Well, this run defense gets an F so far. They're letting this guy carve them to shreds in the 1st quarter of play. He's already hit the 100-yard mark.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Brees going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Brees to throw for it on 4th. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Here's Brees. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Ready. You ready? Hey, kill.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. A dump off to Anderson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Room to run past midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. From midfield, here's Rodgers. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a...
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And now look at him go. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Packers get set to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. That goes for a gain of 31. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They'll run with Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They try again with Montgomery. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Rodgers. And he's got his big tight end. That's Rodgers who caught it for the Packer touchdown. Richard Rodgers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. It's up and good, and that'll make our score 31-14 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Off the bootleg. Bump. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Thomas, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
The final shot before half for Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and now it's second down. Shift together here from the D-line. Breeze will try again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even though that's an incompleted pass, shouldn't we give a whole lot of credit to the offensive line?
Yet again, time in the pocket to throw. Time and time again, we have seen that. You're right, the O-line winning the battle in the trenches. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 14 down to the 14.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, Anderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Ready. 5-5. Hey, easy.
Now Breeze. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
The Broncos send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
21, here we go.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They run it again with Anderson. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Breeze now to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving and keep grinding the clock.
And he is leveled. Knocked down hard. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They give it to Anderson. And some space here. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go.
Getting the call is Anderson running left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now a give running left with Anderson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the 1st down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And McManus able to put it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They start the drive with Anderson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Breeze now. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. The slot man in motion right. Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run again on 1st down. Anderson. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Rodgers going to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Montgomery. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now Rodgers to throw on third down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Broncos on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is third down and 12. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Broncos, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.